Hey there, welcome to another daily devotion. Good to have you with us. Today I'm in Hobe Sound, Florida, I believe, and I'm at the top of Mount Hobe, I think it's called, inside of a state park. I'll get the stats when I go back down. But I wanted to chat quickly about, first of all, it's gorgeous here. If you can see behind me, there's this incredible view. I'll get some other shots as well of this place. I'm actually down at the bottom of the observation tower right now, just trying to avoid some of the wind that's up there. But I was reading in Colossians earlier this morning and last night, and the verse that I zeroed in on was Colossians 3:2, and it says, "Set your mind on the things of heaven, not on the things of the earth." And I was here and I was just kind of thinking about that verse, trying to digest it a little more than just usual. And the thing that got me to that verse was, I was reading in Matthew 18 about where Jesus is telling that parable about the shepherd, right? And the shepherd who leaves the 99 to get to the one. And somehow the references in that verse took me to Romans, talking about how there's nothing on earth that can separate us from the love of Jesus, Romans chapter 8. And then somehow it referenced me over to Colossians and to this verse and a couple of the surrounding verses. You can read them all, I'll put them in the notes. But setting your mind on things in heaven, not so much on things here on earth. And how often do we set our minds on the things of the earth, right? On things in our lives, things that surround us, things that we kind of have to, it's a touchy subject, right? Let's just talk about it just for a minute, because we have to set our minds on things of the earth to survive, right? So, and I don't think that's what Jesus is talking about. Actually, Paul, who wrote this, was talking about. I think it's more about not getting wrapped up in the things of the earth and not having those things rule our lives. And more, we should be thinking about what's going on up in heaven and our pursuit of our entrance into heaven, if that makes sense, right? Our pursuit of Jesus here on earth as we strive to be more like him here, so that when we finish this life, we're in heaven. And part of the conversation that I was just having with myself was, I'm actually in the middle of reading a book called Undistracted, I think it's called, by a guy named Bob Goff. I don't know if you guys know him or not, but great author, really down to earth. And it kind of continues the discussion that we had on this devotion months ago about finding ways to get out of the distraction of the world so that we can focus on Jesus more. And it's a good conversation to have. And I'm bringing it up again because I was at the retreat a couple of weeks ago, and I said to everybody, hey, we spoke about distraction at our last retreat. How's everybody doing with that? How's everybody doing with their destruction of distraction in their lives? And I didn't even wait for an answer. I said, well, to be honest, I've been failing. I've really been failing. And so part of maybe what led me to this verse was, maybe we're not supposed to be so focused on what this world has to offer. And part of that is literally letting the focus of the world fall to the wayside so that we can focus more on Jesus. And when we focus more on Jesus, the things of the world become less and less attractive. And maybe that's how I got to this whole verse in Colossians. And I just found it fascinating for a minute to just think on this again, because I hadn't thought about it for a couple of weeks. And boy, just to recenter, refocus on Jesus as opposed to focusing on what the world has to offer. And yeah, we have to take into account the fact that we need to work. We need stuff here on this earth so we can survive here, right? But thinking on what we're really going after, right? And we spoke about this last week and the week before about Jesus and about his example that he continually sets. And one of those examples is love. Another one is compassion. Another one is mercy. Another one is grace. And when we're so wrapped up in ourselves and our focus on what this world can bring to us and what it can offer to us, compassion, mercy, grace, all of that stuff gets pushed to the wayside. And I'm trying to think of what Bob was mentioning yesterday about distraction and how the darkness loves distraction because it just takes us away from the light, right? I don't know if that was the exact quote, but I like the idea of that, right? The darkness loves when we're distracted because it takes us away from the light. And part of the reason I wanted to kind of fall into this verse today and have us kind of take a minute, meditate on it, really understand and digest it is just for that exact reason, right? The distraction pulls us away from Jesus. When we focus on the things of the world, it pulls us away from being who Jesus made us to be. So today, as you kind of wrestle with distraction, as you kind of wrestle with stuff of the world versus stuff of heaven and everything in between, just think on those few characteristics of Jesus and how you can interact how you can put them into your life today. Grace, mercy, compassion, and love, right? We keep falling back into these characteristics of Jesus because they're so important. And the reason we keep falling back into them is because he keeps over and over and over again, he keeps bringing them up, right? He keeps bringing them up. And there's a reason for that. And the more that we hear about them, the more that we try to implement them in our lives, the more we're going to be more of a reflection of him every single day. It's something I got to work at. I'm not going to say this is easy. I've said that many times before on these devotions. It's not easy. It's not something that we can just be like, hey, we're going to work on this. It's you've got to work at it. You've got to intentionally be loving, gracious, kind, compassionate, full of mercy, right? So anyway, that's what I was thinking about today. That's kind of the thought for the day. I'll take some more video of this area. It's absolutely beautiful. And boy, it's absolutely beautiful. So today, Saturday, if you're watching this on the release day, take a minute, go out, find a place like this, find a park, find somewhere where you can just spend some time and focus in on what Jesus is saying to us, right? Okay, so Paul brings up this point. Right, don't be focused on the world, be focused on heaven. Okay, How do we focus on heaven? We focus on heaven by focusing on the things that Jesus taught us. Grace, mercy, love, compassion, trust, right? All of this stuff, respect, honoring others. So all of these things we need to continually work on. And today is just a reminder, right? It's just a reminder. Because sometimes we get so wrapped up in all of it, all of our pursuit of the things in the world, that we lose focus on those things. So just a reminder, okay? I'm gonna shoot some more video. Thanks for being a part of our community here. If you're not a part of our community, join us. Head over to joindavesband.com. Get access to over 250 hours of content, daily devotions in your email inbox, worship videos, and all of these, and just all of this great stuff that we're using to learn how to be more of a reflection of Jesus. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Take care. A little bonus thought here. I was just reading Colossians 3:1, and one of the phrases that Paul uses is, if you've been raised with Christ, right? So I look at that and I say, okay, if I've been raised with Christ, if I've been reborn, renewed, rebirthed with Christ, then I want to walk with him. I want to represent him. I want to be a part of the movement that changes and saves lives and gives people hope, gives people, shows people mercy, right? Shows people grace. What does grace mean in somebody's life? It's different for each of us, I think, in the way that we interpret grace. But anyway, I just thought that was kind of a cool point. If we have been raised with Christ, right? If we are walking with Christ, then part of the assignment, probably the wrong word, but part of the deal is to walk with him, be appreciative of the new life that has been given to us, right? We are raised with Christ. We are born again with Christ. We have renewed life in Jesus. I like that. I like that a lot. Renewed life in Jesus. And so our response to that new life is what? Being a reflection of him, showing others who he is in your life, showing others mercy, grace, compassion, all of these things. So anyway, just thought that was kind of a neat little point. I like it. I like the idea. We have renewed life in Jesus. And even today, like if you're feeling, man, this week I've just fallen, it's okay. Right? Renewed life in Jesus. Every morning we can wake up. Jesus, thank you that your mercies are new, that your compassion is new, that your grace is new. Right? So all of this happens every day. It's a renewal daily in our continual walk with Jesus. Boy, that's a powerful point. I'm glad I turned this thing back on. But it's a renewal daily in our walk with Jesus. A renewal daily in our walk with Jesus. Okay? That's where our focus should be. And then that ultimately leads our focus up to heaven, right? And takes our focus off of the world. Good stuff right there. So anyway, head over to Colossians 3:1, 2, and 3. Just go hang in those verses today. Read those verses. Kind of let those verses be part of your life. If they are already, great. If they're not, let them be a new part of your life. But renewed life in Jesus today, okay? All right, head over to joindavesband.com and you can get involved in our community. Can't wait to see you guys there. All right, okay, now I'm signing off. Take care. We'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.